Good evening. Welcome to Kingdom Lum Small Town Underground. I hope everybody is having a wonderful evening out there tonight. Just finishing getting set up. Let me know that you can hear me if you're in the comments. I still haven't got everything set up yet. God, it's been really busy. So I really like the new software. I like the way things are turning out, but we're going to be a little bit more laid back this evening because I do have a little bit of show lined out. So it takes me just a minute to get these in the groups. So bear with me, and then I will pull up the comments. So I'm just trying to post this to everywhere that I posted today because I do my own advertising, of course, as you know. We do it all here. As much as we can in this movement. I just want to say how much I appreciate the people that support me. I swear to you, in my wildest dreams, I will. I mean, full disclosure, I listen a lot. I listen to a lot of talk radio growing up. Oh, I don't know why that's showing up, but let me get that off there. I listened to a lot of talk radio growing up. I loved listening to people talk NPR, talk radio, Rush Limbaugh, Michael Savage. Michael Savage was my hero for a long time. He was always, I'm going to get to that in a minute, y'all. He was always there. Like, I mean, he was very, very brazen dude. And, man, he would say things that a lot of people were thinking. And of course, Rush Limbaugh would do the same thing, but in a completely different way. And sometimes I feel like I'm just babbling on. But anyway, let's see if I can pull this chat up. Oh, okay, David Naha. Good to see you, brother. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Just saw that. Hope you're having a wonderful birthday. Great patriot. And loud and clear. Thank you for that. Good to have you on the show this evening. All right, so I can see the comments, but I still haven't integrated them yet into the show. So I just want to take a minute to tell people how much I appreciate everybody that sends me stuff, the conversation I have. I've had some really good, great meetups with some patriot people, some that drove hours working with certain groups that are just kickstarting themselves out into the open and planning events, we're planning music. We're really trying to connect and reach out to strengthen our communities and all of our around us against the tyranny that we face on a daily basis, right? And we are blessed by Lord Jesus to live in a region of the world that we can still do that, and we can still have the better part of life and the American dream as it's constantly getting picked away piece by piece. But here we can look past all the stereotypes, and we look past all of the idiocracies that come with the labeling and what people want to call you, and we can continue to come together. And so I wanted to talk a little bit more about that tonight. But I mean, like, it means so much to me that after, almost maybe about 2 years, a year and a half seriously of doing all this and all of the hard work that we all put into our Second Amendment groups and never, COVID, of course, COVID killed a lot of the spontaneity and the excitement, but we never gave up on that stuff. We still use it, even though, it's not as strong as it was. I mean, it's still there, and people are still there. But I just can't thank people enough for the appreciation of the support and those who can give to the show, the Give, Send, Go. It means a lot to me, and I'm a man of my word, and I've been up here running my mouth for 2 years. You're not going to find me in the middle of some charade or dramatic escalation. What you see is what you get. And when I tell you that I use what we have here for the show, that's what it's going to be used for. And I just appreciate all y'all. It is a blessing. All I want to do is, I'm a communicator. We communicate with each other. We understanding can only be reached by the confrontation of communication, and they don't want us to communicate. They don't want us to think for ourselves. They don't want us to read things. They don't want us to question. Critical thinking is off the radar. You become crazy. You become an extremist, you know. And and in a lot of ways, we talk a lot. Ignorance is bliss, right? It would be great to just go back to just pull the veil back down, you know, and not see the Wizard of Oz, not understand and how crazy things are, how controlled things are, and the fact that like the more I go on, every day I find out more of the big lies all around us, and we're going to cover a little bit of that tonight. So before we get into the show, I want to bring up a few things. So the first thing I'm going to bring up right here, this is a flyer I made, but this is an event that's coming up, and it's the Christian Patriot Nation and Cliff's Edge. They are presenting Take Our Nation Back Classic Car and Bike Show. This will be August the 3rd on a Saturday, and it starts about 12 p.m. It's going to be at the High Point, Georgia Community Improvement Club, right here in Walker County, Georgia, up in High Point in Chickamauga. So we are going to have some speakers. Carol Howard from Daytona Beach is going to be there. They've asked me to speak, and I disagree that I'm a good speaker, but I am trying to be less of the robot and more of a, I can come up here and run my mouth, whatever, but when I'm up in front of people, like, usually I tend to write things down. It's easier for me to read what I write, and then it sounds like just a monotone robot voice. So I'm trying to improve that. But Jerry Paris, who is awesome patriot, who is pouring his heart and soul into the movement, and there'll be more added to this. And the Cliff's Edge speaker will be Derek Grayson. Derek Grayson will grace us with his presence. T-Mott, of course, if you are living under a rock, you don't know who Derek Grayson is. One of the best speakers I've ever heard, along with Lucretia. And we got good things coming with Lucretia Hughes as well. But Derek is great, and we are all working together sort of in conjunction to bring music and bring people into the fold and create more events and get out into the communities and continue the movement. So we'll have an invocation by Mr. Jeff Daniels. The first prize is bragging rights, $50. And so this is going to be August the 3rd. I hope that you can make plans to make it. If you have any more information, I've never done like car show stuff before, but this is not my event. I'm helping with it, right? But I can get you more information if you need it. I'm supposing you bring your car and you sign up. It's like a $10 entry fee, I think. There will be food there and all, you know, and we're hopefully we've got a band together that we start our first practice, so we're going to be doing some music. Which we're going to incorporate more music, more patriot music into these. So looking very forward to that. I will post the flyer, and if you haven't joined the group, the Christian Patriot Nation, you should think about joining on Facebook. You can keep up with the events, and I know that Cliff's Edge, the pages are coming soon. And it's just more ways that you can get involved, more events that you can get involved, more ways to support your local patriots, more ways to support people like me and what we're doing, and more ways to get involved. So it's a good thing. And the second thing, this is going to be tomorrow evening. Antonio Jones from the Gwinnett War Room. Me and him are becoming fast friends, and we've got some stuff that I think we're going to be planning soon together as we go down this path of supporting each other, making our shows better and rounding them out. Will Jones, Kim's Coffee Talk, Carol Howard, people that you may have not heard of. Well, I mean, a lot of these people you've heard of, that we can create a network where we are supporting each other and supporting the cause of communication, bringing things out to the table, leaving no stone unturned, the truth, transparency. So Antonio's a great guy, and has one of the best singing voices. I mean, dude, probably, he could probably be doing it. He could be making a millionaire with his voice. But if you haven't checked it out, check out Gwinnett War Room. Antonio Jones. You can find all of his links on Facebook. He does a show, a great show. He had Reagan Box on today, and it's like, go support him. Go support what he's doing. Especially if you're a local to him. Go support his show, and everything that he's putting into it. Because, like myself and many others, we work day jobs, we raise families, and we're doing this, and we're doing it, like, again, because of appreciation of people that are reaching out and telling us, hey, keep doing what you're doing. We love it. If I'm telling you, man, I'll hang it up in a heartbeat if it gets old or nobody wants it. But people are hungry for this kind. I mean, look, the Clown News Network is doing the debate, for God's sakes, with Donald Trump and Biden. I mean, they should be doing that with me and Antonio and Lucretia. I would like to see Lucretia Hughes, all right, host a debate with Donald Trump and Joe Biden, wouldn't you? I mean, it would be way less clown show, and we'd get our bang for the buck with somebody like Lucretia doing it, right? Instead, we've got to watch this idiocracy tomorrow night. But if you want to watch it, you can join right here from Turning Point Action Presidential Debate Watch Party, June 27th, tomorrow at 7 p.m. It's going to be, it looks like Adventure Outdoors. You can RSVP at traction.com/GA Debate. Or you can go to Antonio Jones or Gwinnett War Room, or you can go to Kingdom of Small Town, because it will be posted after this show, and I think I've already shared it once. So that's a way that not only you can get into something where other people are going to be involved in your area, but you can meet people, and then you can get involved. So very grateful to see them putting that on. I think Marcy McCarthy was some help in that. What a patriot, right? So I'm going to just double check the comments. Wow. Okay, I'm getting some comments in here. Guys, I will get to all these comments soon. Appreciate it. Oh, Joanna Hildreth is on. Good to see you, Joanna. That's another thing I forgot, and y'all are just going to bear with me because I'm going to pull this up. But Joanna is having a prayer. I'm going to find it right now. This is very important. Joanna Hildreth of the Catoosa County GOP. That's another way you can get involved, is go to your local GOP meetings, and they are having I'm pulling it up right now, y'all, so just bear with me. It's just going to be one of them nights. Let me pull this window capture up here. So I'm going to find it here. Yes. Let me pull this up real quick, because like I said, all of these are just free and easy ways that you guys can get involved. So there we go. This is another event, local, and a great idea. It is the 6th annual statewide Bible reading, July 14th, 2024. Oh, no. Yeah, this is right. Yeah. Sorry, I thought I said June. July 14th. I'm going to do my best to make it to this as well, because I hope I'm off for that. I think I am. But it's going to be at 7:14 a.m. All right. It's going to be at the Catoosa County Courthouse in Ringgold, Georgia. Everybody's welcome. And I'm getting cold chills just thinking about this. Pray for America, right? Would you think about that for just a second? America and the prayer that we need. And I think I've posted this, but I want to make sure that it's there so everybody can see it, because we need prayer, y'all. I mean, we need prayer more than anything in this world. We need prayer. We are going through, I mean, you could give it a name, tribulation, whatever you want to call it. We're under attack in every way, shape, and form. Our way of life, they're attacking. Well, I'm not going to go into last week, but like I said, they're attacking religion. They're attacking God. They're attacking the family. They're attacking your way of life. You will own nothing and be happy. This kind of garbage that's going on, and we need prayer. We need prayer chains. We need to just bow down at the feet of God and pray for the discernment we need, and pray for this country like we never prayed before. And I think everybody knows that. So we thank Joanna for doing that up in Catoosa County. She's always doing something, and always trying to get people connected. And this is all politics aside too, by the way. I don't really care what we think about each other, or what. I'm not getting involved in this, I can't be on this side and that side. What I'm saying is, you leave the politics out of this. There is no politics in prayer, okay? You pray for our nation. And we pray for the will and the discernment. We're not worried about all this 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 divided lines here. When you come out to the car show or you go into the debate, you go in and you can leave them politics out. You go in and be with the people, be there and be present and have a good time, and might even get fulfilled in a lot of ways, And so we thank you for that. And if you guys will bear with me one more second, I got to go back and do one more thing here, and then I'm going to dig in. And I'm not going to keep you forever tonight. I'm trying to watch my time, so let me do this really quick. Because as we all know, it's very hard to get the word out to our people. And Facebook sets up these crazy little ways that you can do something over here, but you can't do it over there. So all right, I'm done with that. So moving in, the first thing I'm going to cover tonight is Julian Assange, right? Lots and lots and lots of stuff about Julian Assange, but I watched this actually on the way home, but I want you to hear a couple of things. Cause, Tucker Carlson's kicking it out of the park. I don't care what you think. I know a lot of people love Tucker Carlson, but now that he is unchained, we can get into the meat and potatoes about, if a CIA operative or if this person is doing this or look at their past, but if anybody is paying attention to the interviews that this man is doing, the interviews and the sheer amount of information that is coming out of the Tucker Carlson network, it is astounding. It is amazing this day and age how many conspiracy theories that they are not a conspiracy theory anymore. But this guy is doing some of the greatest interviews of our time, and I'm amazed at, and especially here's the other thing, when I'm sit down, because I'm a long form guy, okay, I'm not a short form guy, but 2 hours is a long time to spend, on an interview or a podcast, or whatever. But I get so involved in some of these, and some of the people he's speaking with, that I will literally have to pause it and come back and pause it and come back, and then I'm like, okay, this is my pool time. I'm going to get in the pool and finish this. But I get through these 2 hours in a lot of these interviews because they're groundbreaking. And for the first time in a long, long time, information that's not censored, information that's right there in your face that you can disseminate and bring in. So I wanted to play a couple of clips from this really quick. And I think that everybody will like this. But I think I got it marked right. Bear with me. Here we go. And go.
The case, and that would include most Australians, is thrilled to see. Anybody who knows anything about
Assange.
that case and believes that Assange should still be in prison is your enemy, by the way. In the
would you look at this free advertising? Get out of here.
To make travel.
Enemy of human freedom and flourishing. It was monstrous that he spent 12 years locked away for exposing other people's crimes. Typically the way it works, I don't know if law enforcement's the same here, but the guy who discovers the crime doesn't go to jail. It's the guy who commits the crime goes to jail. And that's been
I want to pause it right there. The guy who discovers the crime, it's been that way for years, doesn't go to jail. We're flip-flop now, right? So instead of focusing on the crimes that were uncovered, right, with Julian Assange, mind you, locked up 12 years. 12 years. And nobody has been held accountable for any of their actions from the WikiLeaks, right? But this man has spent 12 years. 12 years. Off and on, almost to near death. And it's what he said right there is so important. But I'm going to continue on a little bit more.
In his case, so I think it's wonderful news, as you all know. He's in Guam dealing with one of our colonial magistrates. I didn't know even we had those, but we do apparently in the United States. And then he'll be flying here where he was born. And my impression is, I was texting with his wife this morning, my impression is he plans to stay here for a while. And so I think, that's a huge net benefit to your country because he's a good man. I know him. I visited him a few months ago in Belmarsh Prison and saw how they were effectively torturing.
What does that mean, folks? That means we may have a Tucker Carlson interview soon with Julian Assange. So I'm super excited about that. So
him to death. And what I didn't realize until I got there, even though I've been steeped in the case, I know his relatives, I know his wife Stella, is that he was never charged with a crime in Great Britain. Never. He was charged with no crime. So in the free world, we don't hold people who haven't been charged with a crime. And we don't hold them in my country beyond a year unless they've been convicted of a crime or they're on trial for a crime. That's just the most obvious abuse of human rights. And it went on for 12 years. And he's an Australian. And I'm sorry, I don't mean this as a criticism, just I think this is a perspective providing observation. But like, why did anyone allow that? He was held in the UK on behalf of the United States, which, by the way, until recently hadn't charged him with a crime either. And when it did charge him with a fake crime under an ancient statute that no one has ever charged under, the Espionage Act, to which he pleaded guilty, apparently.
All right, so I'm going to pause it right there for a minute. So you notice the trend here that I'm kind of getting at, right? WikiLeaks, I can't, what a huge revelation. So he was never charged with a crime. January 6th, never charged with a crime. All of these people never charged with a crime. Donald Trump was never charged with a second crime. What am I getting at here, folks? What am I trying to, the picture I'm trying to paint? The justice system that I talk about that's being dismantled as we speak. The Fani Willis bullcrap in Atlanta. All of these things. These people have been in prison for years. This is political. This is political justice. I mean, this is politicization of our justice system. This is, I mean, it's as plain as day. These people have been in prison for years and years and years, never charged with a crime. And it's happening more and more and more. And Donald Trump saying it's not him they're after, it's us that are after. And that is exactly the game plan. It's slow, it's incremental. They're testing the waters to come after dissidents like you and me, okay? People that want to stand up against the system and tell them, no, you are not taking my Constitution, you are not taking my family, you are not taking my God away from me, okay? And they are in lockstep with doing this, okay? And notice, like he said before, the person who finds the crimes is not the person who gets arrested. But in Upside Down world, that is the person we persecute. And all of the crimes that get uncovered get covered right back up. Prime example. January 2024. We were told sometime in the 20s of the month they're going to drop the Epstein client list. Where is that at? Is it 626? Have we seen an Epstein client list yet? No, we haven't seen an Epstein client list, right? You see, it's all gaslighting, it's all lies, it's all media speculation to keep the gaslighting going on and on and on and on. It's a shame, and that's one reason why I'm going to cover Clown News Network coming up, right? But I'm excited for Julian Assange, right? I'm excited to see that he is no longer in prison. He's back in Australia. I'm also excited to hear from Julian Assange soon. Maybe not in the next 4 months, right? But after November. But make no mistake that the U.S. was very involved in this. They wanted that guilty plea. They wanted him back in Australia. They wanted him gone before elections, okay? Now, on a post that I had made, which I feel like I've been super shadow banned because of several things, not even got any hits on. But you can go back to my page and you can look at the NBC article I posted. But in the comments, Tim Pool had a pretty good analogy about why this is happening and why it's happening now before November. And the implications that might go back to some Hillary, I can't remember her last name, and I'm going to say it because those little algorithm robots are going to come back. But I know the first name was Hillary. But anyway, there was a few people that might have, Anyway, so it's worth a watch, right? At this point, we're speculating. But my point is behind every decision, behind everything that goes on, don't think that there's not some plan. Don't think that there's not some angle. They're 10 steps ahead. So Julian Assange being released, well, there's probably some good reason that the deep state wanted him out of the way, because I think Donald Trump really wanted to extradite him back to the U.S. So that's all I'm going to say about that. But Julian Assange, our thoughts and our prayers go out to you in Australia tonight. Tucker Carlson, thank you so much for what he's doing, man. I want to try to play one more clip, and I think I got it marked because it was worth listening to. So if you haven't seen this just dropped. I guess he's in Australia, but I haven't even finished it. I'm only about 20 minutes in, and I'm planning on trying to finish it tonight. But if you'll give me the time, let me play this one more part of this.
My name is Tyler Devereaux. I'm inviting you to attend my brand new 2-hour live masterclass.
I'm
about to show you.
To you is don't go the way of your cousins in our countries. I mean, Canada, of all countries in the world, I would say Canada is the closest in its sort of essential facts to Australia. It's huge. It's actually bigger than Australia. Second biggest land mass in the world. Amazing natural resources. An incredibly nice, polite population, well-educated, with a history of valiant war service. You know, sort of everything you would want. A little boring. That's good. Exciting countries are wildly overrated. Las Vegas is exciting. You wouldn't live there, right? There's something to be said about a country whose, main forms of excitement are Molson and sled dogs. That's not bad. And that country basically killed itself through bad leadership. They completely changed the population of the country in 10 years completely and made it poor. And now people can't buy houses there. The economy's in free fall. People who are born in Canada cannot buy a house, period, because there are just too many people. And I'm sure some of them are great people. And by the way, just to be completely clear, I'm utterly sympathetic to people who want to move to my country, for example. We let in 30 million people illegally in the last 4 years. That's a crime, but I'm not mad at them. I'm actually flattered by it. They want to move to my country. Of course they do, because it's the best country. That's how I feel. It's like someone saying your wife is hot. Yeah, I think so too. You can't have her, but I'm glad you appreciate it. I mean, honestly, that's how I feel. I don't begrudge any immigrant from any country wanting to move to the United States because I love the United States above all. I am American. So it's not a question of being mad at immigrants. I'm completely sympathetic. In fact, I'm empathetic. I can't wait to get back to my country. But that doesn't mean that the movement of millions of people, mostly with low skills and no, native command of the language and no shared culture of the people who already live there, doesn't mean it's good for the country itself. It's not good, actually. It's bad. It's the most destructive thing you can do to a country. That's not racism. That's not hate. I'm not racist and I don't feel hate. I feel true compassion and empathy. But the purpose of running a government is to take care of the people who are citizens of that country. There's no other purpose. It's not to save the world or change the global climate or whatever. And it's certainly not to spend a huge percentage of your budget on refugee resettlement. It's to take care of the people who are born there. That's your job in the same way a father's job is to take care of his children, not the neighbor's kids.
There you go. All right, I'm gonna stop it there. Hey, it's worth an interview. I mean, to watch the interview, I'm gonna be watching it this evening. I really like what he said there. He lays it out very clearly because we live under this stereotype that if we have a problem with immigration or what I call replacement migration, what it really is, then we're racist and we hate immigrants and all. Nothing could be further from the truth. And this is stupid speak. This is idiocracy speak, and we've got to continue to call it out. Right? We can't be afraid to talk about things. We can't be afraid to stare things dead in the face because this is single-handedly by itself a destructor of a nation, of what's going on. The border issue, the border crisis, everything that is coming to fruition that our president Donald Trump said, right? Joe Biden, the puppeteer that is being led in this direction by the World Economic Forum, the global elitists, the Rockefeller Foundations, all of these hidden Illuminati cult devil worshippers, I mean, more or less than anything, that are trying to destroy this nation. And we don't know the bigger picture. We don't know why. We don't know what their end game is. And it could be something that's in a different dimension, for crying out loud. And we don't know. But obviously, everything that is leading up to this, we are surrounded by cliffs. And we are at the cliff's edge, right? We're at the cliff's edge, and we know this, and that's why we're here. But I really like what he said. I have a lot of empathy. I've worked with so many Latino people, Mexican people. Some of the closest people to me have different pigment skin than myself. Okay, they look different. And guess what? I can talk to them more than I can talk to anybody. Most people. They have common sense, and I'm so sick of this crap. I'm so sick of not being able to talk about the huge immigration problems that this country's facing, things that I haven't even felt yet, right? And how it's going to destroy the fabric of this nation, and it's on purpose. There's no assimilation. There is no. I mean, our government right now, Joe Biden is gearing up to put IDs in every one of these people's hands so that they can go vote in November. In our state, our lovely state of Georgia, well, if they have an ID, well, their paperwork checks out, they automatically get registered to vote, right? I mean, this is wacko land. And I'm going to call out any legislator who thinks that our election system is safe in this state. I'm not going to pick on every state, but we do not have a safe election system, nor have we ever really. But it's designed unsafe, and the things that are being enacted in place as we speak are not designed to strengthen the elections. Okay, they're not designed to protect the vote. All right. I mean, it's just the truth. Let's call it like it is. I'm tired of tiptoeing around it. I'm tired of watching legislators go, hey, we got some good stuff for you. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. Just like you didn't. Our last state senator who touted, we fixed the election. I've said it 100 times on this show. When I read through that bill and I thought, my God, I can't believe our elections system was in this bad a shape, and you think you fixed it? We got nobody with no backbone. We've got nobody it's astounding to me. I mean, tar and feather, people. I'm telling you, we're going to have to get rid of it. And we just went through a midterm. We just went through a primary, right? Not a midterm. A lot of incumbents got voted back in. We had some really good victories, but a lot of incumbents got voted back in. The same people that are smiling at you, and as soon as you walk away, they're making fun of you. They're up on their high heel looking down on you going, these stupid people, I'm calling it out. I'm sick of it, and I'll get to why in a minute, but this was just sent to me. I've not got to watch this yet, but we're going to put this up. And because this is tying in exactly with how I'm going to finish this episode. So bear with me. Let me pull this up. Mind you, I'm watching this with you. I got to watch 30 seconds, and I knew right then that it was divine intervention, that the person that sent this to me, this went right along with the show tonight. This was so beautiful, folks, is that people send me stuff, and 30, 40 minutes ago, I got this, open it up. I said, wow. I can't believe that this is in me. Here we go. I'm going to play this for you because listen to what our Congresswoman has to say, which is 100% true.
Tomorrow night, one of the most important, if not the most important presidential debate, the earliest ever, takes place in your home state. Why did they pick Georgia?
Joe Biden picked Georgia because Georgia is the #1 state that the Democrats want to take. It is their top tier. Steve, you'll understand this, and many of your viewers will. Look, they have California. They have New York. The two biggest ports in our country, California and New York. Georgia is the third largest port in our country in Savannah. New York, economic hub of the Northeast. California, economic hub of the West. Georgia, economic hub of the Southeast. The Democrats want Georgia, and they're going to do everything they can to take it. That's why Joe Biden picked it as his first debate. That's the significance of Georgia.
You're very concerned about a couple of counties there, and we're not on top of things, and the Republican establishment's not on top of things. Do you still have those concerns?
Stephen, I'm going to tell you right now, I'll tell you, I'll tell all of War Room, I'll tell anybody that's watching, I fully believe they're going to steal this election. I think it's going to be stolen in November. No one can back me off of that right now.
That's a bombshell.
In
Georgia?
Nationally.
And you think that
I'm concerned. I'm going to tell you, I'm concerned about Georgia.
Tell me.
Fulton County is a cesspool of corruption. Complete cesspool.
Fonnie Willis is
right. She's a beautiful example of it. The DA that was arrested, complete embarrassment on the news for our city and for my home state. That city is just, it's no different than Chicago. Illinois and Georgia are very similar. Chicago politics, Atlanta politics are very similar.
The difference is in Illinois and places like that, you don't have a state that's controlled by Republicans. You have Kemp, you have Rosenberg. Why do Republicans in that state, given it's one of the most MAGA states in the country, if there's even a question that this thing could be stolen in Georgia, why are they not stepping in today?
Because they are completely aligned with the Uniparty, the same Uniparty that I work with up here in Washington, D.C., that wants to do everything they can to destroy President Trump and destroy MAGA. They are going to press as hard as possible, no matter who they have to align themselves with, to get past Trump, to get rid of Trump, move past Trump, past the Trump era, get rid of the MAGA. They're MAGA extremists, push them to the side. They want to return the party back to what it used to be. That is the old neocon, completely globalist-run Republican Party, the party that we all hate. The Republican Party that we want to burn to the ground, Steve, that we want to die and go away. They want to bring that back, and that is the leader. Absolutely, they're going to resurrect it.
Can it be resurrected in Georgia when you have 80 to 85% of the folks down there are MAGA?
No, they will. I'll tell you what they'll do. I'm going to give you a prediction. Those Republicans will hand Georgia over to Democrats, full Democrat control. They will. They would rather it go to Democrats than allow MAGA or America First Republicans run the state of Georgia.
Wow. Okay, that was from Amy Kremer on X. So if anybody, I'm actually going to follow Amy Kremer now. So it's all, like I said, it's always important to support the people. And thank you for that clip. That was a very powerful clip from our Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, who was 100% right. Okay, and I'll go one step further. I don't necessarily agree that they're going to steal the elections. Okay, and a lot of what she said is what people will tell you that I've been talking about for a good long while, right? I told you that we were going to still vote on Dominion voting systems a year ago. I told you that there wasn't anything going to change, and I'm not a fortune teller or nothing like that. There's a lot of good groups out there that are doing wonderful, marvelous things, and that's precisely why I'm disagreeing with Marjorie Taylor Greene on this one thing. But all of these things are coming to pass. She is completely right about the establishment wanting to get back and take over the GOPs and take over them, making deals, trying to get their slimy way back in. This is exactly why we have nobody, very, very few people in our state legislature that have any backbones, that aren't completely bought off or probably blackmailed in several ways. Okay? Follow the money. It's always about the money. But I don't necessarily believe that they can steal the election. And precisely what I just said is because we have so many boots on the ground, so many activists, so many, the paper ballots, Garland Favorito, Voter Georgia, Georgians for Truth, the Truth Seekers of Cherokee. There's so many people out there that are still fighting. Now, when I say fighting, they're fighting against a multilateral front of like, hey, we got to move forward, you know, when all of this information is just sitting tight in the courts everywhere. But these people are active in poll watching, poll working, getting everything straightened out. I could name 100 names for you. And that's precisely why I believe that they're freaking out, is because I don't think they can, okay? And that's another reason we go back to the same thing. We have to overwhelm the algorithms, which means we need people that don't normally vote to go out and vote Donald Trump, okay? We can't have it out in just California and this and that. We got to have it here in Georgia, because she is 100% correct that Georgia is the epicenter of the fight. We are ground zero here. Ground zero. I covered it last week. I've covered it numerous times. If you don't understand that you are on the front lines of the war for America in Georgia, and you have to take it seriously. You have to take it seriously and step up. I'll give you a perfect example. If you were told 10 minutes from now that there were going to be burglars that were going to be coming to your house, and they had the equipment to break your door down, okay, and come in, and they could do whatever they wanted to you. They could rob you, steal you, kill you, worse, But you were told 10 minutes in advance that, hey, this is going to happen, okay? What would you do? Would you go ahead and call the police and have the police there? Would you go ahead and maybe get a baseball bat out of the closet, or would you arm yourself, or would you lock all your doors, and you would do everything in your power to make sure that in 10 minutes those people could not break your door down, those people could not come in and harm you, those people could not come in and take away your livelihood, right? Well, this is your 10 minutes, and you must take it seriously, Georgia. This is your 10 minutes. They are coming for this state, hook, line, and sinker. And in the Second Amendment community, think about this one thing. All it takes is a Democrat Senate. I mean, we don't even have most Republicans in this state who give a crap about your gun rights. We really don't. Very, very few. The rest of them just vote because it's a good Republican talking point. They don't care. I'm telling you, all it takes is a Democrat Senate and a Democrat legislature, and your gun rights are gone. Listen to what she said. Look at Chicago. Tell me where they're at with Chicago. I'm a bail bondsman, and I could get arrested. And I have more right. I have to carry a gun to be a bail bondsman. It's in the law. But if I go to somewhere like that and I'm carrying a gun, guess what? I'm going to get arrested. Do you understand that you're on the front lines? You're on the front lines of this battle, and you have to take it seriously. Why do you think there's so many people activated in this state? A lot of us know this. A lot of us have known this for a long time. That's why the grassroots movements, who have been used in a lot of ways by the establishment, you have to have discernment, okay? Because people like me, they love to come to people like me. They love to prey on the people that are activated so they can corral them in to what they want to do. And I'm not saying all this is bad, but what I'm trying to tell you is that you're on the front lines. You must be prepared for battle. Going back to my disagreement, and Marjorie Taylor Greene could be right about this. Obviously, they're going to try to steal the election again. We know this. I mean, they've tried to steal every election. There is no such thing as a free and fair election. There never has been. Mark Twain said it in the 1800s. We're now finally waking up and realizing that, right? But my point is that I believe they may even go one step further and realize that they cannot steal this election. And so we won't even have an election in November. And I'm not going to go off into conspiratorial territory, but I'm telling you, I've had conversations with people all around, I'm never a person that says I'm right, and I pray to God I'm wrong. I want to be wrong on this show, and I want, after Donald Trump is elected, and come out and said, boy, I was wrong. But nobody, not one person, has been able to even convince me we are going to have an election in November. Okay? Nobody. And I've talked to some people. I talked to a guy that was talking to Steve Bannon on the phone one day. And I'm not going to name names, but I was there at poolside, and he was, just got off the phone with Steve Bannon. Wow, cool. Later on that night, I asked him twice, and he deflected twice from me. This guy's hooked in way, 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 way bigger than I am. But he would not answer my question. He deflected. So I believe that they can't steal the election. I mean, not with all of our activists, they can't. Not with what's in the courts. So they're going to shut him down. I believe they're going to shut him down. And I hope I'm wrong. I pray I'm wrong. That's the only thing I disagree with Marjorie on. And I hope that she's right. I would rather them try to steal the election than shut them down, because guess what? If they shut down the election, that means martial law. That means pandemic 2.0. That could be any number of things. And we're not going into geopolitical, and we will soon. But if you're paying attention to Lebanon, if you're paying attention to Israel, if you're paying attention to the Taliban, Iran, China, Taiwan, I go back to the same things, North Korea, and what we are doing, we are setting the stage for a full-scale World War III. God knows, right? So that was an important piece of information that I'm going to continue to share out, because Marjorie Taylor Greene hit the nail on the head, okay? And I'm going to check my time here because I want to get to comments too, but I don't want to be here forever with y'all. So I do want to, all right, I'm just going to go into this real quick. So the debate. A lot of people are going to be streaming the debate tomorrow night. I'm sure they're going to be watching the debate tomorrow night. If you've been following Tim Cast, Tim Pool, or Steven Crowder, you realize that Clown News Network has actually tried to file some injunctions to where people cannot restream with commentary onto their YouTube channels or Facebook channels, all those different, saying it's going to violate the terms of service, and they're going to shut them down and copyright them and all this. So it's a total infringement on the First Amendment of the Constitution, which will be defied. And when I say defied, not defied on our end, because we have the First Amendment, but it's going to be a sham. And it's actually, it's quite disturbing to me. First off, I understand why Donald Trump is doing the debate, right? Why wouldn't he do the debate? But to me, it's a sad state of affairs, because the fact that Clown News Network is doing this debate, they're doing it supposedly live with no people and able to cut off the microphones. The fact that Joe Biden has been hiding out at Camp David for a week, probably getting pumped full of who knows what, just to be able to walk out on the stage without tripping. But it validates CNN to me, and I have a problem with that. If I were Donald Trump, and I get it, their strategy, and they're trying to reach out to the other side, to the complete idiots, the can openers that watched it on a normal basis, right? Which is like a few thousand now. But to me, this validates CNN, and I have a problem with that. Why couldn't we validate Newsmax? Why couldn't we validate some of the other news organizations that were up and coming and got completely demolished by the cable companies and got sued almost out of existence, right? Why are we validating Clown News Network? The fact that Jake Tapper is going to be the moderator, that it's laughable to me. It's laughable to me. You can't sell this any longer. This is stupid. It's idiotic, and it's not going to be a debate. It's going to be a clown show, okay? And I don't want people to think I'm dumping on the debates by any means. We have to hear this. This is one of the founding principles of the Constitution. When our president speaks, we have to hear. You can't tell us that we can't share it, that we can't listen to it, that we can't comment on it. This is freedom of speech, baby. So I am not dumping on anybody that's going to watch the debate. I can't watch the debate. The debate starts. I will be at work. I won't be able to watch it. I will get the snippets. I will watch the other people who have commented, but I'm insulted. I'm insulted that it's going to be in Georgia for the Clown News Network, and that our time is going to be wasted, and all of the sound bites that are going to come out of this, it's going to have rent space in our head from just the sheer idiocracy, because they're going to do everything they can to make Donald Trump look stupid. We have no idea if it's actually going to be live or if it's going to be pre-cut. I hope to God that they've worked out a deal where somebody just gets a camera that films the entire thing, right? But man, to me, it's Jake Tapper is a huge joke who's going to be running this. It's like it's the same thing as this Hawk Tuohy thing or Justin Timberlake in the news. It's just more gaslighting eye candy. I want to look forward to a real debate, not some piece of garbage from CNN that can't be taken seriously, and we will have to endure at least the next week of snippets and gaslighting from this. So I'm not participating, and it doesn't. I want everybody to be clear. It's not because I'm throwing stones here. I cannot partake in this. I want to see better debates. I'm calling Donald Trump and tell him, why are you letting these people dictate this? Why are you not setting up your own a free and fair debate like it's supposed to be? I get it. I get why you're doing it. But man, I'm so tired of the idiocracy. I don't have time. Ain't nobody got time for this. Okay. But I bless the people who are going to sit through it, and that I get to go through all of it and find all the good snippets and stuff and the memes, because that's very important. I'm thankful that we have people, podcasters like Tim Pool, Steven Crowder, Antonio Jones, who are going to participate in this. So like Mark Dye says, I watch Clown News Network, so you don't have to. I'm insulted. I'm insulted that this debate is going on. I'm insulted that you would think that I'm going to, spend my time on this, because it's not going to be a debate. It's going to be yet another clown show as we're flushed down the toilet. So that's all I want to say about that, man. Nobody take that the wrong way. Don't get insulted. We're all grown-ups here. We're critical thinkers. I am very, I can't wait to see the highlights. But tomorrow night, I will probably get in my pool and watch another interview until all this drops. So, hey, the funnest thing I ever did with debates was I had neighbors. They're Puerto Rican, full-blown Puerto Rican. They assimilated. They're here. And they invited me over to their house one night to watch one of the Trump debates back in, was it 2016. And they had chips laid out, salsa, you name it, and we just sat there and watched the debates and laughed all evening. I mean, they were just pro-Trump before most people would even mutter the word Trump. And man, it was. I still remember that night like it was not like it was yesterday. Sitting there with a Puerto Rican family in their house with them, and they're just hooting and hollering and all of this stuff when watching Trump say, "Because you'd be in jail." I mean, it was something else, man. I wish I could have filmed it. Now that's a real debate right there. But the other thing I want to, I got two more things, and then we'll go to comments. But I did a little rant last night about taxes, and I want to clear the air just so there's no confusion. But there's a motel tax, and before anybody else gets their feelings hurt, I talked to Chattooga County Commissioner about this a while back about motel tax. I'm not against a motel tax. Very good people that can use money in very good ways. I totally get that. I understand that we look through avenues to find ways to make money. But I got to catch my state senator, Colton Moore, on the local cable channel last night, and I only got to catch the last 20 minutes. And, of course, they love to ask him the hardball questions, right? Because the uniparty just loves the old guard, just like Marjorie says, and they want to go back to it. And anybody that's dissenting, anybody that has a different point of view, a different outlook, or will stand up and has a backbone and kahunas to say, no, this is wrong, this is stupid, we don't need to do this. In fact, it was even stated last night, well, why don't, a lot of people say you don't get in touch with them and that you don't do this and do that. Yeah. Hey, my door's always open. I don't go around and suck up to everybody and try to find all the best monetary deals, because it's always about the money, right? You get up in the positions, everybody wants that dollar. But I was enraged because this mayor, who I'm not picking on this mayor, right? I probably did last night because he sounded snivelly. But I don't know the person. But I know about the motel tax, known about it for a long time. And I was so proud of my state senator standing up and telling it like it is, like, hey, we don't want any new taxes. Why would we need this tax? Why do we need to do this? We don't need to tax the people any longer. Like we've got to be smarter with our money and all this. And it basically breaks down to a motel tax in I guess the counties around this area, to where you pay a little extra for a room, and then that goes to tourism. You get a tourism fund, yet there's all these stipulations with this money, and certain money has to go here and certain money has to go there. And, it's just a teensy-weensy little bit of money. Don't worry, it's just a little splash money, just a little bit, just a half a cent, just a fraction of a cent. And that's my problem. All the time we get to hear our legislators and our constituents tell us that we're making all this progress, and we're bringing in all these new taxes, and we're doing all these new things, and we've got this here and that here and there. Yet they scour every single nook and cranny to figure out how they can take a fraction of a cent away from you. And I am sick to death of this. What in the hell do we have to do to let our Republicans know that we are taxed to death? Okay? The Boston Tea Party, the memes that you've been seeing going around. We are sick of this. We are sick. We don't want to be taxed. I don't give a crap if it's a fraction of a cent. You're going to make $100,000 that's going to go into 3 different funds, but you're going to use $4,500 for tourism. tourism. Why do we need this when we've got subdivisions and we've got apartment complexes and subsidized living coming all over the place, and we've got entire fields that are being paved into parking lots, and more people coming in, and we've got all this replacement migration from different states and from the border, and they're all coming into our towns because they want to get away from the crap holes that they're in, only to bring their crap with them. You know, the game is up. The jig is up, people. We the people aren't going to sit idly by. No, we don't want to tax, okay? We don't want to tax on anything. We need to figure out ways. And then when somebody says, but wait a minute, man, you got it all wrong. You got to really figure this out. Well, guess what? We've got a commission office in this county who's pretty much we're being debt free. Now, a lot of people don't, this commissioner, our commissioner, has been voted out, and we've got a new commissioner coming in, and she says she's going to continue along, and they're going to batten down, and they're going to strengthen this and make it debt free, and we'll move into a different chapter. So if this county can do it, every county can do it. But why do we have to talk about taxes any longer? Everybody knows that all of our taxes, we're not even being supported by our taxes. We are taxed on everything, all the time. You have to have a license. We can't even go and walk a federally protected land without paying for it. Everything. You have to have the only thing you don't have to have a identification for is to vote, for God's sakes, in this country, right? You don't really need one, right? But guess what? You'll gladly go get an ID for everything else. You'll gladly go pay that money for everything else. And the buck is stopping in this climate, in this country where we're at right now. I don't want to hear another word tax. I don't care if it's a fraction of a percent. And I'll tell you why. Because guess what the stock market does? In the stock market, do you know that there's algorithms set up and artificial intelligence set up in the stock market? We're talking about fractions of a second. And this, you can look this up. Don't take my word for it. Fractions of a second. A $10,000 trade goes from point A to point B. Between that point A and point B, you could have artificial intelligence and algorithms that can do fractional deposits from that money. Stuff that is lightning fast, like quantum fast, that you never even see. So small of a fraction of a cent, and it could pass through 100, 200, 300 times in a mere second that transaction takes place from here to here. So don't think this is not some game. Don't think that somebody's not figured it out, right? What are you going to do? You look at your bank account down to a penny? You understand what I'm talking about? On a very small scale, but millions and millions and millions of times. And who do you think gets that money? It's always about the money, folks. So, no, I don't care if it's just a little bitty tax. I don't want it. I'm taxed to death, okay? My ancestors threw tea out in the harbor because of just tea, for God's sakes. So you people need to get it through your thick skulls that you got to stop coming for we the people, because I've told you 100 times, this is not business as usual. You cannot get away with what you've been able to get away with, okay? Like accountability or not, it is there, and people are awake, and people are watching you, and rightfully so. There is no back rooms anymore that you can hide this stuff. Eventually, it's going to come out. And I thank my Senator Colton Moore for standing up and saying no. I said no, and he even brought up the fact that they said no to this, and then they tried to tack it onto another bill, like, we're just going to slide it right in here, and we're just going to run it on up in there. No. No means no. And that is the kind of backbone that we need. And that is the kind of backbone that the establishment fears, because they know that the jig is up, okay? And the American people are watching. That's why I disagree with Marjorie Greene. I don't think that they can necessarily steal the election. I think they're going to try, absolutely. But we've got good, God-fearing, common-sense, moral people out there that are watching the war fronts. We've got people that are activated and they understand that they're on the cliff's edge. We've got people in this state that understand that they are on the war front, And you best beware, because we are watching everything. And not only that, but we are linking up, and we are coming after our Constitution. We are coming after our American dream. And we're not going to just idly sit by and let you take it from us. So no, I represent Silent No Longer, Small Town Underground, my county, my community. We don't want any more taxes. Taxes is just as dirty word as democracy is. We don't want them. We're not going to accept them. I don't care how big or how small. Figure out something else to do, okay? Because I'm already paying for everything, man. And in this economy, in this chapter of America, we've got nothing left to give, man. I mean, we're already paying 3 times the amount for groceries, and then what do we hear every 6 months? Well, the board of directors record $1.4 billion this year. Oh, they made all this money. Who's really getting all our money? Well, we say, well, there's inflation and there's all these things, yet every CEO and every board of director, they get paid twice as much as they got paid the year before. Like, what in the world is going on here? Like, you can't hide this any longer. So anyway, I'm going a little bit long. Sorry, y'all. I want everybody to know that I am a transplant. I'm a transplant. I want to tell you a little story about my migration story, and then I'll get to comments. If you don't know, and a lot of people do, because they're like, man, you don't sound like you from the South. Well, I'm not. I was born in Chicago, Illinois. My father and his family were in a little town, Huntland, Tennessee. Moved up to Chicago, Illinois for work, right? Welding opportunities, business opportunities. Come off the farm, y'all. Quit being independent. Come to the cities. We're going to take care of you. We got grocery stores. We got all these things. And, of course, the glamour, right? We're a social, inherently social people. We want the better things in life, right? Look at all the junk behind me. Like, we want these things. So what do? It's a better life. You're promised a better life, and probably for a while it is, right? You got more money, you got more things, you got more Tinker toys, whatever you want. Fast forward. So you give up all of your independence, all right, in a world where everything can be automated and everything can be at your fingertips, and you don't have to do this anymore. You don't have to learn this anymore. This thing can do it for you. And that's what kind of life, You think about it. You come from the Dust Bowl, the recession. You're just in the podunk towns, nothing there. One stop sign, not even maybe a stoplight. And so they did. Went to Chicago. My dad, my mother was originally from Chicago. They were Chicagoans, and they met and they got married and they had children, and here we are. And in this particular neighborhood, which was Southside Harvey, Illinois, is where we lived. And I remember it very like it was yesterday, a lot of black families, a lot of white families, just a mix. It was mainly Polish. Polish was big in Harvey. They had entire streets of Polish people who didn't even speak English, down to the meat stores were Polish. Everything was Polish. In fact, my mother was married to a Polish man before my dad and her got together. But a lot of people were moving out. Things were getting crazy. And a land developer, a black land developer came in. He was wanting to transform parts of Harvey, invest a lot of money into Harvey, and take these little 3-story houses and turn them into like upper middle class, primarily for minorities and all these things. And so they were selling the houses. They were going door to door. When buy your house, this is what we're doing. And so a lot of people decided to move out. My father had always wanted to come back to the South. And so that's what they did. They had a prime, position to sell. They sold the house, as did most everybody else. Because by the time I remember being 5 years old, most of the houses were rental houses anyway. They were kind of systematically moving them out. They were going house to house to rebuild these houses. And I remember these things. I remember my parents talking to the guy. He was a wealthy businessman, a black businessman who was wanting to invest back into the community. And so where do we go? Well, Dad said, let's go back down south. And I almost didn't be here because we almost ended up in around Tullahoma, Tennessee. We were just looking for places. And a lot of my family's from Tullahoma, Huntland, Franklin. So we ended up moving right outside the battlefield down here, as my mom's sister did, and their family came down. And that was it. From then on, we lived in Chickamauga 2 years until we came over here, and been living here my whole life. And growing up as this, kind of anarchy loving, punk rock loving, gangster rap loving, just against the system of things. I didn't understand a lot of the culture, and I never was a part of the Southern culture, or the bad parts of the South when you talk about racism and all that, so I didn't understand that a whole lot. Because from my earliest age, I was around people of different colors and things like that. But growing up, I a lot of the tropes about the South and everything, I was always one of those, like, I'm not a redneck, and I guess I got it naturally. But growing up here in the South, I learned at a young age about America, and even though I was into the punk scenes and stuff, I never let people. I couldn't understand why people was always against the flag, like, the American flag, because I always knew at an early age the Constitution provides you with the freedom to express yourself, right? And for the very freedoms of this country is why I can wear a Nirvana T-shirt or an Unwound T-shirt and play in bands and be freaky. And so I hated this place for a long time until I started going to other places and seeing other communities and other cities and realized that I have a little piece of heaven here, right? In this community. And as I've gotten older and started raising my children and to understand like how special a small town is, how special a community is, how special it is to be connected, how special the church folks are and the community, how easy it is to be able to talk to people, And now I wouldn't trade this place for anywhere else in the world. And I've been a lot of places in the world, and seen, I've been on the Eiffel Tower and in different places like that, believe it or not. But this is a special region, a special place with special people. And like I go back to saying, we're on our own little fantasy land too, because we get away with a lot of things that the gaslighting doesn't affect on the TV, right? We simpler people and we're very independent still. We think independently, but I know what I'm talking about, y'all. I'm one of those transplants, and here's my final thought on that is that what we talked about last week about this replacement migration. I shared with you the news article about all of these places and people are buying up all this land. If you're coming to this channel and you're listening, don't bring that ideology with you. All right. Take a moment and pause and understand that you're being lied to on so many different levels. You're being lied to about the way of life, and they're systematically trying to destroy the family. They don't want you to be independent. They don't want you to learn how to grow your own food and protect yourself. They don't want you to speak out or jump in the other lane. But what we have is something special here, and we need to hang on to it because yet again we are the front lines of the #1 state that the Uniparty is trying to take over, and that a lot of establishment people that call themselves Republicans will gladly hand this state over to the Democrats and sit on their fat piles of cash and laugh about it every step of the way. And I just refuse to be a part of that. I refuse to go quietly into the night and have my land and my resources and my people taken away. And just remember that I'm a transplant, and gladly, proudly, I know a lot of good transplants that have come down here, so many that I could name, and y'all know what I'm talking about. And the vast majority of them that I meet are like, thank God we found a place where we can be ourselves, right? And that's what we hope and we pray for, and it's our duty to reach out to those people in the community and show them why we're special. Show them why what we have here counts more than anything else, right? Welcome these people in. But don't bring that ideology, man. Keep it outside, because you're going to be up for a fight. We're not going to walk away from what we have here. So I hope that made sense. But anyway, so I'm going to go to comments and I'm going to get off here. Again, thank y'all so much. If you're enjoying the content, you can always go to sorry about that. Hang on. Let me get. You always go to givesendgo.com/small town underground. Yes, I'm asking for money, but I don't want anybody to give me money that can't afford it. What I'm saying is that everything requires money. That's the system we live in. And very plainly put, the money that goes into Small Town Underground goes back into the cameras, the things that I purchased to make this possible. So by all means, it's a blessing. Thank you. But it is not used for monetary gain, and there's no other place you can donate to as well. So, hang on. I'll see you later, Dad. Love you. But yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'll see you tomorrow night.
All right. But yeah, like I said, it goes back to the show. It's not for monetary gain here. So, let's go back up. A lot of comments tonight. I wish I could see how many people were in here, but David, happy birthday to you, my brother. Calvin said, finally. Sorry, Calvin. I did get a little bit late tonight. Calvin's Corner 72, y'all. I'm gonna give a quick plug. If you're on YouTube, you could go support Calvin's Corner 72. He's got a lot of good content. He's just a good old country boy who likes that shine and he likes to do things. He does Dutch oven stuff. He's got his own channel and he's a joy to be around. So I feel a blessing that I've met Calvin and like I said, it's a little bit of a rowdy channel, and he goes out and does the Swamp Guys and some moonshiners and stuff like that. But if you're into that sort of thing, you should check it out. So, Brian Queen, good to see you this evening. A Patriot fighter who is love you, Brian. Appreciate you being here. And sorry about that. I'm not on Roku, Calvin. Yeah, the phone app, YouTube. I'm only streaming to YouTube and Facebook tonight because of this new system. It doesn't recognize Rumble, and I ain't going into all that. So, Jonathan Garcia, hey to you, sir. It's good to see you, Jonathan. I look at a lot of your content. You just keep doing what you're doing. I love the hydroponics you're doing with the growing, the vertical growing and stuff. So keep that going. Joanna, it's good to see you this evening. Thank you, and thank you for all you're doing. Kim's Coffee Talk, another one. That's another podcaster. She does early morning podcasters on Rumble and I think Twitter, and I think she's doing YouTube. It's a lot of fun, actually. She has people on there, and man, it's like a good cup of coffee, basically. And these are the people you need to support. I got to meet Kim, and we're gonna collaborate soon. I'm trying to work all this out, but Kim's Coffee Talk, you need to go check it out. I've posted the links, and that's another podcast that we can support of people telling it like it is. And she makes it really fun, and it's a joy. I mean, it's a joy to be around. So I'd much rather watch her than Good Morning America or something like that. Zach Brandenburg, hello to you, sir. Good to see you tonight. Imagine no taxation without representation, 100%, Jonathan. We are that's an understatement at this time, and we have just got to get it through these people's skulls that we're tired of being messed with. We're messed with on everything, and taxes. I don't care. I don't care. Taxes are just. That really got me last night, and we need 50 more Colton Moores and 50 more Charlize Birds, and we need to get rid of these establishment people. We need to get rid of these people who don't care about you, who laugh at you, who make believe like they don't know what you're talking about, or give you excuse after excuse, or just write you off and say, oh, you're not going to... No. We're done with this. We are done with this. We are coming for your jobs, okay? We will not forget, and we are going to get people in there. Very good people that ran this last time that we could have gotten in there that would have stopped the buck at the very beginning. And they're fighting tooth and nail against that. So, great speaker, Zachary. Sharon Holland, thank you, Sharon, for being with us this evening. I appreciate you very much. He said, why is Facebook not working? I don't know. I'll double check it real quick and make sure it's still on. Who knows? I could have got kicked off. So it shows it's still going out. So good. Northwest Georgia, why are Trump Force Impact Night, July 11th? That's a good one. I will repost that. If you haven't heard about Trump Force yet, I do believe this is a good thing. I think it's a positive move in the right direction. And it's kind of getting into the meat and potatoes of people being able to get boots on the ground and really get involved in getting Donald Trump elected and getting people out of the sticks and into the booths on these stupid Dominion systems and fighting that algorithm. So got to keep checking that out. Okay, so we'll talk more about that. Let's see, Northwest Georgia. Yes, got you there. Brian Queen had to jump to YouTube. Was having with comments on Facebook. I don't know, guys. I'll double check everything. I'm still up, so I appreciate it. I wish I could see y'all's comments in real time, but see, they don't even try to hide it anymore from Brian. You're 100% right. They do not try to hide it anymore. That's right out in your face, and we need to apply equal pressure. Equal pressure. You're not hiding it anymore. I'm not hiding it anymore. I am done with the BS. We're done with this. We're not talking about it anymore. We're going. We are in charge, like it or not. If you are a representative and you don't believe that we, the people, are in charge, you need to take a hike, because the BS, the buck is stopping, man. We're okay. Georgia Patriot, good to have you this evening. 2016, Megyn Kelly asked Julian why he never puts out dirty laundry on Trump. He said there isn't any. That is true. I remember that. There isn't any. Well, obviously, we know that there's really no dirty laundry on Trump because of the sham trials that we've been going through. I don't know if you guys are aware, but did you know that the Mar-a-Lago raid that's just coming out in the last 24, 36 hours, that the FBI actually used pictures that were fake pictures of the documents? They actually use mock pictures, and they put these secret, top secret, like, I can't remember what they call them, but right on top of these stacks to make it look like that he was having top secret documents. This is your FBI. This is where your money is going for these people to lie to you and gaslight you and make believe that they found a treasure trove of documents, when it's actually coming out now that it was fake pictures. But they'll take me off the line for telling you something like this, and the FBI can just sit there and make fake pictures and gaslight everybody. I mean, don't get me started in that. But yeah, we know there's not any dirt. I mean, they went through Trump's dirty laundry, for God's sakes. I mean, the Russian collusion was a hoax. The dossier was a hoax. We're being lied to on so many levels, multiple levels. I mean, what do you expect, you know? Georgia Page says, Constitution says Tucker is wrong. U.S. government's job is not to take care of the people. Their job is to take care of the paperwork jobs that we don't want to deal with, so we can take care of ourselves. Certainly. I mean, that's, you can look at that in several different ways, but government was pretty much intended for safety and security of its people against foreign powers, and it's supposed to be small government that was supposed to maintain the daily activities so that people could live free, and we are nowhere near. We've gotten ourselves into a debacle, to say the least. So Brian Queen said, I saw this early. She's dead on. Absolutely. Don't ever write off Marjorie Greene. Regardless of what you think or what the past, these people are not going to do 100% of what we want. These people, we're always going to have disagreements, but when you hear those words can be like weapons, and she was spot on with that. She is absolutely right, David. James Cole's watching. Good to have you. Another good patriot, James Cole, who steps up to the bat and is getting involved. Thank you. Jeff Conley, don't forget that we have local candidates running as well. We need to promote them in order to stay ahead of the naysayers. 100%. And just take a moment. Jeff Conley has become a special person in my life, and appreciate everything that Jeff's doing. It's to have people like Jeff and Jerry and other people that are just so eager to step up and coordinate. And there's so many other names I can name, right? But I appreciate everything that you do. And Jeff keeps us informed. Jeff was actually the one that broke to me the Julian Assange, and I couldn't believe it at first. I was like, where's your source? You know, not like in a bad way, but I'm like, is this true? And of course, within the 24 hours. So Jeff is hooked up on levels, and a very trustworthy person. And I'm telling you, we're blessed to have these people in our life, you know. Brian, thank you, sir. Calvin's Corner, yes, they should validate Newsmax. I mean, why are we even playing this facade of Clown News Network? It's insane to me. But anyway, Jeff says, how can they have a debate prior to the conventions? Let's see here. That's true. I see exactly what he's saying. How can they? Because Trump hasn't officially been nominated yet, of course. There's a rabbit hole that we can go down on that, Jeff. Absolutely. Remind ourselves that they're 10 steps ahead. They come at us in ways that we can't even understand. So is there something more to that, right? Is there something more to the fact that Trump hasn't even been officially nominated yet? So that's a very good rabbit hole that we should go down, Zach says entertainment sells. Absolutely. Sex, drugs, rock and roll. Brian says that is the only way they would agree to debate. Yeah, exactly. That is the only way. I mean, it's a sham. It's a facade. I can't wait to see comments from Antonio and Marcy McCarthy and all of the comments from the big YouTube channels that are going to be watching this thing tooth and nail, So Calvin says Biden is going to be made to look good just because it's crooked CNN. Oh, of course it is. I mean, Biden can't even, if you go back and you watch clips from Biden like in 2018, 2017, 2016, when he could actually talk and like make sentences, it's kind of astounding. You listen to him and you're like, wow, like you're so used to the gaffes and the fact that he can't even he can't even talk without mumbling. He is going to be let off the stage. I mean, the man's deteriorated in 2 years like something we've never seen before. And it's just funny because the idiotic Democrat Party just continues to prop this guy up. But yeah, it's astounding to me how far off he's fallen. And we're supposed to go along with this facade like this is reality. I'm starting to think we really are in the Matrix, y'all. But Calvin says, thanks for the pizza. Hey, you're welcome. You're welcome. We the people, the real Americans, not plugged in so-called Americans by the Georgia DMV. Sure, that whole system of registration should be null and void. But that's progression. We're fixing the elections. Yeah. Calvin says, talk about how Georgia DMV makes illegals legally eligible to vote. I don't have time for that, but guess what? We're talking about multiple states here. Zach says Colton is among the best. I totally agree. And Colton is going to be on the show sometime in July. We're talking. So it's always a blast to have Colton come on the show and we can just kick back and talk. And he has the freedom to tell everything like it is. And let's see. He says, oh, no, they will try. Yes. The state of Georgia is still using them dang Dominion voting machines. Hate that. Yeah. Well, they never had any intention on taking them out. So. The only state in the union that had an actual contract by Dominion. So ground zero yet again. Calvin says, got to work in the morning, old son. I know I'm getting off right now. Alice in Chains, Nirvana, Lisa Adams. I love you, Lisa Adams. Says, don't come here and try to change it. Make it like it was there. Stay where you are. Don't change our Georgia any more than they already have. We've already got to fix issues they've created. 100%. They already have the solutions for the problems. Said they should drug test Biden to see what he's on. Yeah. And Ray Blankenship, my brother, my close brother, at least he is getting his squats in. I think we'll end it there, folks. I always tell you I try not to stay on late, but we just have such a good time. So I appreciate it, y'all. I'll get this posted up to Rumble. You can continue to support me. I will be back on Wednesday night. I'm going to be doing some stuff on others' podcasts as well, and got a guest that I'm lining up for Wednesday night, and we're going to move right along. Election integrity issues coming soon. Some really good speakers. Hopefully Garland Favorito is going to be on with me live in the studio. Can't wait for that as we move forward. Support your podcasters out there. All the ones we mentioned. The BKP is another podcast we need to be supporting. I can't think of their name. There's so many good ones out there. But anyway, I love you guys. I appreciate the time, and we're going to get off here. We got to go to bed. We got to get up and go to work tomorrow. You guys have a great evening, and I will talk to you soon.